Hey guys, welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. If you watched my video with the Pro Modified car that I reviewed recently and went through the tour and all that good stuff, today we're going to go through exactly how they set up their pit areas and what these two rigs are for and everything that's stored inside there. I'm going to give you a tour and show you how they basically set up the identical system here in their shop based in Texas that they use at the racetrack. So the cars are in the same place, the trailers are in the same place, all the support equipment is there available. Kind of an interesting setup if you've never seen it like that. But like I say, it's a little bit different than what some teams are doing out there. They have two different rigs, one that carries the cars and a few spare parts. But over here, the one behind me is more of support equipment. They've got spare slicks and all that kind of stuff in there. So we're going to take a look at both and let you see. And all my racing friends out there are probably going to be drooling a little bit if you don't already have something like this. Okay guys, just so you can see a little bit better view, the difference between what they have here in the shop and what they would have at the racetrack is there would be a large awning on each trailer here. And of course the cars would be in the same place with the exception of the red Camaro right there that's actually a customer's vehicle. But, and as you can see I've got my camera sitting right there, but this is what it would look like. Of course they've had the 18-wheeler, the trucks hooked up and all that kind of stuff, but there's no room in here for those. But I do like the fact, something I always wanted and my dad always wanted in a shop, you can drive in one door and out another. That is nice and convenient. But let's start off with the rig right here. Like I said, this is the rig that hauls the cars. As you can see, that is a very high-end racing rig. And if you didn't watch my previous video on the cars that you see on the screen right here, this is a 2015 Corvette Pro Modified. Check that out. I'll make sure to link it down in the description of the video. So how do they get these cars in and out? Well, let me show you. Basically what happens is this door will come down and fold down flat, and they bring the cars off the top deck and then lower this door down. It's called a lift gate. Nothing unusual, but just something that they use here with this particular team. A lot of the teams with these kind of rigs, of course, use that kind of system, and there are multiple ways to get in. You've got a back door back here and then the double doors up there. So let's walk inside and I'll show you around a little bit here. Hopefully it's not too shaky. I apologize if it is, but you correction Nazis don't have to tell me about it. But here's what you have. A lot of storage, of course. All the different things you would expect to have here. In fact, I'll lift this one up right here just so you can see what's there, some of the parts and pieces and different things. That's what's going to be used to help cool the engines down between rounds, especially when there's live TV with some form of racing. That's what they have to do, is cool those engines down a little bit faster. And while there are some descriptions on some of these, you'll find out that some of what's in here isn't exactly what's written on the cabinet, and in some cases it is, such as right there. I'll just kind of show you some of the more interesting things here. And here is that door I was talking about. I don't want to ask them to open that in here because that is a lot to do. But as you can imagine, there is a lot of storage. Now this is the AC unit for this rig, so they stay nice and comfortable inside here while they're working. Fuel jugs, all kinds of different bits and ends and pieces. Even parts for the golf cart kits right there. And tire covers, and you might wonder, why do you need tire covers? Well, on those slicks that I showed you, I didn't talk about this in the video, but they put the tire covers on between rounds, or going up to the staging lanes, I should say, because if that tire gets exposed to sunlight for too long, it will change the pressure in the tire, which is very important as to how the car runs. It needs to have even tire pressure or the car won't go straight. Like I said, you've got AC here. You can see there's your thermostat, just like you would have in your own house, basically. And let's just take a look in one more set of cabinets here real quick. See if I can get that open one-handed. Sorry about that. I know this probably isn't the most convenient shot, but I just wanted to show you all what's here. More parts and pieces. This is where that transmission actually came from that we looked at in the previous video. And then as we continue up here, of course, a lot more space, storage. I mean, these guys will be on the road for weeks at a time, so they need a lot of space to put everything that they need to handle all of their racing needs. I'll show you a little bit more of what's in these cabinets. As you can see, here's some more parts and pieces here, different tools used to work on the cars. Literally going to haul everything they possibly can here. So all they have to do if they need to change something is basically pull it out. And of course, plenty of tools, as you can see. Obviously something you would need here. There is one set of toolboxes, another set here in the truck. There's that transmission we looked at earlier. Maybe a little bit better view for some of you who might have wanted to see that earlier in the video. And if you're looking down here, of course, here are some, let me move some of this stuff out of the way here. My own bottle of water there. There's some pictures of some of the cars that the owner of this operation has had in the past. And they also have onboard radio systems so that the crew can communicate with the driver back and forth. Of course, as you can see, there's more equipment up here. I'll just kind of give you a look around real quick at what's inside as far as all that goes. But I'm going to tell you what, just another look here. I know there's a lot of stuff out here, but these guys are working here. They were kind enough to open their shop to me, so I'm not going to ask them to move anything. But here is one of my favorite areas. Let me pan up just a little bit so you can see. We've got some stairs to walk up here. We'll pan down to that, but this is the lounge area. Something that didn't get to be this luxurious until probably the late 1980s, maybe super early 1990s. And again, I realize it looks like it's lived in because, well, you know, they use it when they're out on the road, and this was kind of a last minute deal, so I don't want anyone complaining, hopefully, about anything here. Of course, you can see there's the refrigerator, and yes, there is a bathroom here. I don't think the lighting is going to be too good in there, but as you can see, it's a bathroom. Basically the same kind of setup you would have in a motorhome. Even though the lights aren't on, I don't know how well you can see, but this is the area, the second deck up here. This is where the cars ride. They can actually put two cars up here. So let's go and take a look across the way at the trailer, the rig that basically holds all the support equipment. All right, guys, this rig is set up differently than the last one we looked at. I'm going to take you all the way up to begin with in this tour into the lounge area. This is where the team, the crew chief, the driver, everybody get together in here, and they go over all of the information that comes from the car's onboard computer. You've heard me talk about the telemetry in some of the Mercedes-Benz vehicles and other vehicles that I've reviewed in the past, and how it's like a race pack computer. Well, that's what they have here, and it tells them everything about what goes on with the car. And this is kind of where they have their meeting, basically, to go over all that information and make tuning decisions and all that stuff. Got a small refrigerator here as well. But this is more of where they keep their support equipment, spare parts, a lot more of that here. You see there's a golf cart up there. I don't know how well you can see that on the screen because it's dark up there. But they've got support equipment. You can see some of those giant slicks right there. Let me walk down here. Don't want to trip down these stairs on video. I'd have to edit that out if I did. But as you can see, it's similar to the other trailer with the exception of the fact that this is where all of the spare parts are. In fact, I'll show you even this right here. They've got some of the materials for the awning and all that kind of stuff. I talked about those earlier just to show you what's in here if you're wondering. Well, here's what we have. And we'll just kind of scroll through or pan through some of that scroll. You can scroll on your screen, I can pan with my hand, right? But as you can see, there's a lot of good high-end equipment in here. If they need to fix something, they can most certainly do it. All sorts of different parts and pieces. And more cabinets here with more materials, more spare parts and different things to work on. You've got some sanding materials here, depending on what they need to work on. There's more that goes on with these cars than most people realize in between rounds. Even with a car like this Pro Modified, got a parts washer here. I mean, what a nice setup here. Just so well done just to see what's in here. There's one of the cars that this team has had in the past. And wow, just really cool. I can show you some of the parts and pieces and fittings and different things that they have here. And of course, they'll come in here and get stuff during the week when they're working on the cars and all that kind of stuff. And let's look into another drawer right here. As you can see, got different fittings for just about anything you could imagine. Like I say, I mean, when these guys are out on the road, if they have to run a couple of races in a row, you know, they've got hoses and all that good stuff. It tells you, of course, right there on the drawer what all you had. You got your fittings here for your hoses. I mean, I'm not even opening that drawer all the way. You can't see that because I'm not giving you a wide enough angle shot, but that is what is there. I mean, there is just some really, really neat stuff here. Equipment to test different parts and pieces and check different things, you know, the magnetos and all that kind of stuff. And we'll just open up a cabinet here just to show you what's here. It's really pretty impressive to see what these teams do. And if you're familiar with any other motorsport, obviously you're going to see that this is a little bit different than, say, dirt track racing or NASCAR or something along those lines. And there are some similarities, but obviously with different types of race cars, they're going to have different needs. And again, here just to show you what all is here, they literally have to have everything. And as you can see on the drawer right there, it tells you what's in here. It's pretty cool to see all of this stuff. And of course, things as simple as zip ties. One of the racer's best friends would be a zip tie, I would say. Okay guys, that's a quick tour of the race operation here at PJS Racing for their Pro Modified racing team. Like I said earlier, if you didn't get to see the video where I talked about the cars themselves, I'll link that down in the description of the video, so make sure you check that out. I really appreciate Jeff and the guys here for giving me access to everything. I hope all of you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to tell everybody down in the comments who watches this video, because a lot of other racers are likely to see this, and there are so many other classes of racing, different size race operations and all that stuff that we can take a look at. And we'll try and do that if that's something that all of you want to see. Thanks for taking the time to watch, guys. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye-bye.